Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's teaching. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and I'm super excited to have you all with me, both on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel. If you don't know my YouTube channel, you can just go ahead to YouTube and press Greatman Ayilara, subscribe, and also press the alarm button so that you know when we are live. And if you're joining us live on Facebook, you can go ahead and press your share button. Today, we want to talk about the mirror without. The mirror without. What is the mirror without? What do we do with the mirror without? I will be right back. I want as many people as possible to join us. Stay tuned there with me, please. I'll be back. All right, welcome back. As we were saying before, we are talking today regarding the mirror without. It is a very common knowledge from all over the world, a very, very popular knowledge of some people with a great self esteem that is a bit lower. Or let me just say it the way it is, those who have a very low self esteem use this particular concept to block every public opinion out. They say that it doesn't matter what people say about me, it doesn't matter what you talk about me, as long as you're talking behind my back, I don't care the feedback. I'm just focusing on what God is asking me to do. I'm just doing my own stuff and all of that. It is a very, very myopic and wrong mindset for you to think that the public opinion does not count about what you do in life. There is no one who wants to succeed in this world that will not go back and check the feedback mechanism that he or she has put in place. And why do we have so much tyrants in the world today? Why do we have so much people who have messed up our lives, who have come to cause what we call cannibal holocaust or total annihilation of some set of people or try to suppress and subjugate people? It is because we, the society, agree to the fact that we don't care what the public opinion say about us. Now, you must be able to distinguish and know that there is a difference between you living according to public opinion and using the public opinion to better your life. When you live according to the public opinion, you might never be able to get anything done at all. But when you get a feedback regarding your activity or what you do in life, it helps you to know where you are going wrong, or if you are still on track, or you are missing it, or you need to do more. When you say, okay, people that do things that count never wait to count them, how do you know how much you have achieved? Sometimes we must learn when to apply the principle of the public opinion doesn't count and when to also apply the principle of I need to know what people are saying about me. You check every narcissist that has ever been in existence, that has ever been a ruler, that has ever come to the place of power today, and the way they mess up the life of other people. You realize that they live by this principle of I don't care what people say about me, I just know I am right within myself. If you are a good person, a leader going somewhere, if you are a human oriented person, if you have actually been backed up or been sent by God, if you know you have a purpose to achieve in life and things to do in this world, you must understand that if you are working for the people, then you need to know what the people are saying about you. When you are working for the people, you need to know if you are effective in the people's life. And how do you know how effective you are in people's life if you don't put a feedback mechanism in place? Check out the churches in the world today. We have leaders who doesn't care what people say, and so they lead people in many millions of error to their grave. Check out the political sphere of our life today. We have leaders who don't care what people say, so they don't know what is wrong with the masses. They do not have the feedback mechanism that they themselves will have undivided attention with or to, so they don't know what is going on down there. You think your leader or your president is wicked. The truth of the matter is that he has been indoctrinated to think that it doesn't matter what people say about him. So he's always right. He is the omni right. He is everything that is good. Nobody knows it all. And sometimes you must understand that we make mistake and also divert from our real cause in life, maybe because of our human weakness, maybe because of disagreement, maybe because of discouragement. It might even be because of financial subjugation in some part. But oftentimes, if you really are sent to the people and you are people's leaders, if you are living your life to serve the people, then you must know if your service is effective in the life of people by getting the feedback of the people that you are serving. You don't serve people irrespective of how they feel. I'm going to say it again. You don't serve people irrespective of how they feel. Now you must serve people how they want to be served. There is a particular man that Jesus Christ learned from. It was not cited in the Bible. He read the script of that man. This man is called hypocrite, not hypocrite. Hypocrite, Crate. Crate is a Greek philosopher, and he existed 400 years before Jesus. And this is what Jesus Christ said. What that man quoted was what Jesus Christ quoted. The man said, if you really want to establish the foundation of love, you must learn to treat people the way they want to be treated. Now, I'm going to say it again. The foundation of the love, true love that has no string attached, without any hidden motive, is treating people the way they want to be treated. But when they were going to write the Bible, in order to corrode it and to corrupt it, they wrote it in such a way that it's going to pay them. So they said that Jesus Christ said, treat people the way you want to be treated. So they focused that particular phrase to self now. So they said, treat people the way you want to be treated. So you don't have the audacity to treat people better than yourself. Now, hypocrite said that treat people the way they want to be treated. You may not know how to love yourself, but someone sure do know how they want to be loved. So you don't treat them the way you want to be treated. You treat them the way they want to be treated, because everybody's definition to how they want to be loved differs from individual to individual. So you don't treat me the way you want to be treated. You might not love yourself enough. You might not appreciate yourself enough. You might not even know what love means. But I know what I want in my life. I know I want to be talked to. I know I want to be treated. I know I want to eat. I know what I want to do. I know I want to be spoken to. So you don't treat me the way you want to be treated. You treat me the way I want to be treated. That is the only time we are taking hidden motive and agenda out of the issue of love. But I said, Jesus Christ said, you treat people the way you want to be treated. So you use your own standard, your own life as a standard measure for other people, which is not true love at all. Now, that is something. Now, Jesus Christ read this and he said it, but he said something else to you. And I'm saying to you what Jesus was really saying there. Now, in other words, Jesus Christ is saying that you must always get a feedback from people, irrespective of how divine you think your purpose in life is. If you were created as a human oriented person, If you are into public service, then public opinion must matter in what you do and how you serve the public. If you are a human oriented person, then human feeling must be put into consideration when you want to do service for humanity. You don't treat people the way you want to be treated. You don't know what hurts me. You don't know what is wrong with me. You don't know how I want to be treated. You don't know where it hurts. You don't know how I want you to talk to me. You need to ask me how I want to be talked to for you to know how to talk to me. You don't use your life as a standard for my life. And this thing is always wrong in our society, in our marriages, in our friendship, in our place of work, because we use our own mentality as a measuring yard for other people. So when you continually say that public opinion doesn't matter in what you do or whatever it is that you are becoming, what you are doing is that you are digging grave for yourself gradually. When you begin to shut down public opinion, when you begin to break the bridge of feedback from the people, you begin to serve yourself in the pursuit of trying to serve others. You think you are in public service, but you are serving your own private agenda. So you look at Adolf Hitler, you look at Benito Mussolini, you look at maybe General Tojo, you look at all of these tyrants that ever existed. You look at Abacha, you look at all of these people, president in Africa, you look at them and you see that there is one idiosyncrasy and similarity among their life. And that is the fact that they do not have the feedback mechanism in place and they don't care what people say about them. Not because we want them to live by public opinion, but we want them to use the public opinion to do the public service. And this is something that Jesus Christ was very, very, very careful of in his days. You see, what I'm talking about today is the mirror without. Your mirror within will only project your selfish motive. The mirror without will help you to become selfless in service to people. I said again, the mirror within is how you see yourself as perfect, as awesome, as knowing it all. It said the mirror without is not always easy to stand before. The mirror without is not always easy to stand before because the people outside, they kind of know you better than you think you know yourself. So when you stand in front of them and they give you feedback of what you're doing that is right and feedback of what you're doing that is wrong, it is not because they hate you. And even if they are saying it because they hate you, you are meant to pick those stones and build something with it. Not every stone that is thrown at you is actually meant to be used as a way of saying, yeah, they are castigating me, they are trying to rubbish me, and all of those things. Sometimes people who hate you supply you the stone that is necessary and needed for you to build that structure that will stand the test of time. So you can't always avoid public opinion. So when you have a leader now who tells you that whenever you see them talk about me, you attack them, or you are following someone who feel cool when you castigate him, you when people castigate him, it feels cool when you come to attack those people. That person is leading you to destruction and they don't want to learn. Such leaders are very, very dangerous people to follow. And Jesus did not recommend such a leader for us. As a perfect leader himself, he himself stood before the mirror without to hear what people are saying about him. So, what is the essence of playing a match, let's say a soccer match, without listening to the referee of that match? It's going to be a foul. It's going to be a cheating. It's going to be uninteresting. That's why every soccer match has a referee because they need the mirror without. Sometimes when a soccer player is offside, he doesn't even know that he's offside and it's genuine. Sometimes when they tackle people wrongly, they don't even know that they are tackling people wrongly, that this is violent. They need someone to replay it to them. So there is always a replay mechanism in terms of the public opinion. There is bound to be a replay mechanism on every of your activity. Now, when you are surrounded by people who only affirm what you feel inside of you, alone all the time, you are surrounded by the devil himself. But when you accommodate people who say both the good, the bad to you, and tell you this is wrong, that is wrong, you stand a chance of standing the test of time. Now, In my team, in picking my team, I pick people who are very blunt. Some could not stay, some stayed. But even those who stayed and say, I support you, they still call me to order and tell me that I think this is wrong. I think you can do it this way. But they give you choices. You see, the mirror without should not talk to you or give you feedback without giving you choice. When the mirror without is trying to rule your life, that's when you begin to shut them up. But when the mirror without is telling you how better you could do a thing, how good you can become if you try something else, then you know that this mirror without is also a voice of God. But one thing I discovered from us Africans is we do not like the mirror without. So we love and enjoy to sit on the throne of saying the truth. And the moment the truth is being thrown back at us, we flare up and we are upset. And everyone is guilty, including myself. We are okay being the one who say the truth to people. But when it comes to saying the truth to us, we begin to say, okay, how can you do that? How can you do that? That's why you have on a personality turned religious leader who calls you go to this or block you and all that because they cannot even have a taste of their own poison. That's why you have pastors, apostles, bishops, GOs who cannot stand criticism and public opinion. One thing they do is either they shut you up without responding or they respond violently to you. They use the either method, and that's why they are not learning. That's why they are getting worse. That's why the result of anybody who think that they know it all, who think that the narcissistic behavior of public opinion doesn't matter, is the way to go, always end up becoming a tyrant. And it may take a while before they fall, but they will eventually fall. Because the scripture says that in the multitude of counsel, a nation will be held strong. But where there is no advice, they fall very fast. Now, the advice is not necessarily to be a good advice sometimes. It's not an advice that must go with your skin. It's not an advice that must go with what you're thinking. Sometimes a good advice might be contrary to what you want to hear, and it doesn't make it bad. Sometimes a perfect advice might be very contrary to what you are thinking in your mind. It doesn't make it bad. You must learn to be lenient and very open to public opinions. If you want to go far in life, if you want to build a foundation that is lasting, if you want to build an institution that is going to be human oriented, and because our leaders in Africa and in churches have built the institution around themselves and no one else has any or have any opinion, that's why the day they die, the institution dies with them. The day they leave, the institution also leave with them. But in order to build a nation, a system, an organization that is full of people who buy into your idea, you must also allow them to have a say, either in the way you run things or the way things should be run by others. So you seek public opinion sometimes if it is not coming to you without soliciting for it. It is not every public opinion that you must say, no, 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 they are talking against me, they are ganging up against me. Not everybody is after you. Sometimes some people meant well for you, but they just don't know how better to pass their message across. So it looks aggressive, but it is useful for you if you know how to decipher this thing gradually. So I wrote here in my note, I said, only a tyrant and a narcissist in making shut out the suggestion of others on how to better get things done. Only a tyrant or a narcissist in the making shut out the suggestions of how to better get things done. Say, we must be ready. We must be ready to put such a person under scrutiny. They are not trustworthy. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. So they did a video against you. Every single time they talk against you, you have to do a video against them. Now, there's another thing when people are telling you, can we get your own side of the story? And a different thing from you wanting to castigate everybody that come against you. And I'm not saying that human beings cannot be frustrating. They can frustrate you. Yeah, they can be so frustrated. I put myself in that space outside there where people come to me. I wake up to so many curses every single day, so many hatred and all of those things. And sometimes my humanity is being tested beyond what I could bear. And I get to reply. But do you know the funniest thing is that I have people, elderly folks, who come to me in the inbox and say, "Can you delete that comment? Can you remove that? Can you not answer this one? Can you?" Because of the multitude of counsel that I am availing myself to, I'm able to look like maybe wiser than those who antagonize me. Not because I'm really wiser, I look wiser. What is the source of the wisdom? I listen to public opinion, both the good and the bad ones. And this is another thing. The mirror without also help you to fight what we call depression. You see, most times we give advice to people that we ourselves are not ready to listen to. Sometimes when people listen to us for a long time, we begin to feel like a God who cannot be advised to. I call people up for advice every now and then. I call people up for advice, especially when you are in the shoe of what a situation I want to address. You don't need to have a special anointing. I believe in your experience. So sometimes I call and say, "Give me wisdom. This person said this and that. Give me wisdom. This person, they give me wisdom." Why? I am tapping into the wisdom of God inside of you. You don't need to go and pray about it. I'm not coming to you to come and lay hands on me. I'm telling you, you have common sense. Can we make use of your own? I don't have the common sense to approach this particular common issue. You have it. Can I borrow it? Because I think you have been through that situation. So I'm always asking for people that, can you advise me on this? Can you get me this? And all of those things. Both the solicited and non-solicited advice. It is not left for you as a person to now begin to pick the one that works for you. But so many times we advise people to the point of stupor. We advise people, we say the truth, we put ourselves out there so much that we forget that we need to also recharge and refill. So at the moment of our emptiness, when we become depressed and people are beginning to advise us, because we have always been in the place of advising others, we find it difficult to digest the advice. And it doesn't work for us because we feel like we know it all. And the end of it is that we end up in depression. So I can say categorically well that every single person that is going through depression right now, they are not listening to the advice of the person that is talking right next to them. And that starts from pride, looking down on people. You think this person's advice does not make sense? And I often tell people that if you appreciate not your life, appreciate the time that other people put on hold to come and say, "Why don't you share up?" There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Even if it sounds rhetoric or reiterating, still listen and say, they should be doing something else. They could be doing something better than listening to me. When they chat me up, not because there are not millions of people in the world to chat up. When they call me and they say they want to talk to me, not because they couldn't talk to other people. When they say they want to have a time with me, not because they couldn't have the time with other people. When they say, "Can you take this advice?" Not because they can't give it to other people. Appreciate people. Lower your pride and know that you know it all. So you must be able to also put yourself before the mirror without. The motivational speaker will kill you. They will tell you that nobody is better than you in this world. Just look at the mirror and tell yourself you are beautiful, you are perfect, you are awesome. Nobody, you are not a mistake, and all of those. They get to just put you on the free of life. They take away the break. So when you go through gallop and you end up in ocean and they just kill you there, and you don't have a word to say back. Motivational speaker, I'm not going to tell you that sometimes you need to also submit yourself to scrutiny. Sometimes you have to do away with the mentality of narcissism and begin to say to people, "What are men saying about me?" See, the truth of yourself cannot emanate from within you. You can only confess what you think you are. We know what you are. The truth about yourself, your temperament, your ego, your self-esteem, your dress sense, your eating habit, your financial habit, the way you talk, your social mannerism cannot emanate from you. It emanates from those who are watching you over the time. And unfortunately, you don't know it all about yourself even. Because every single one of us, we are like a candle. We lit the whole room, but under us, there's a shadow. We need another candle to lit away our own shadow. But we have been raised in such a way that we think we are Mr. Perfectionist, we are Miss Perfectionist, nobody can talk to you, nobody can speak. And it affects a lot of single ladies and single men also, both in their relationship and in their marriage. So a woman come into your life and you're trying to say, "Don't do this and that." Say, "Don't take me as I am. Take me as I am." Nobody loves to take rubbish, oh my sister. Nobody want to marry rubbish. No, but if we love rubbish, we go to the dustbin. We don't want to take rubbish. We don't want to take rubbish. So everybody must put themselves in the position of adjustment and compromise. Now, this compromise is not bad compromise. This is a good compromise. A compromise that comes from the act of love. A compromise that comes from the fact that, okay, what this person is saying is true. I have internalized it and I think I need to make a change regarding my life. And in so wise, you realize that strangers can live together as brothers and sisters when they are ready to submit each other to the mirror without. But they tell you in your church or in your motivational gathering and tell you, no, don't let nobody tell you less of what you are. You know what you are, but we also know who you are. You see, there's a difference of who you are and the what you are. What you are is what you know. Who you are is who we know. What comes from within, who comes from without. You need to be able to marry what and who together to be able to become that person that you have been destined to be. People are not existing in this world as a waste. They are existing as a sharpener for your life. Iron sharpened iron. Iron sharpened iron. Deep call into the deep. So if my presence in your life is just to hail you and just to cheer you on, I'm useless to you. You could do that for yourself. So you don't surround yourself with people who are just hailing you and telling you, "Ah, great man, are you be the best? Oh, great man, you are the perfect. Oh, tell me the truth. I don't know it all." Sometimes I could be very proud. Sometimes I could be very, very, very bogus. Sometimes I could over exaggerate things. Sometimes I could be approaching issue in a very wrong way. Sometimes I might be doing something that is wrong. Tell me the truth. Don't just hail me to my death. I don't want to die now. And you trust me that if you are in the wrong side of the law, I'm going to tell you the truth. So if out of love I tell you the truth, why are you hiding the truth away from me? But in telling you the truth, I tell you the truth in love. So you must understand that. And that's why I brought the concept of hypocrite to it. 400 years before Jesus existed, he said, treat others the way they want to be treated. The way they want to be treated. When I counsel married couples, I tell them that you might have grievances, you might have things you want to pass across, you might have your own issues, you might be right, but you must be able to communicate your grievances to your spouse or your partner in the way they want to listen to it, not the way you are feeling alone. Because when you express yourself the way you are feeling, you mess this up. They don't get the message. But do you know every single one of us have what we call mumu button? When you press that button, we can't say no. You must be able to know how to pass across my fault to me in the way that I will understand what you're saying. That's when you begin to treat me the way I want to be treated. You don't tell me, stupid idiot, shut up there. No, you can tell me, don't you think it is wise to do it this way? The same, you are saying the same thing. But I love to hear it like, don't you think it is wise to do it this way? You are still nullifying my opinion and imposing yours. Instead of you saying, stupid idiot, you don't do it this way, this is the way to do it. So we must learn the art of communication as the mirror without. And we must learn the art of listening as the one standing before the mirror without. And the truth of the matter is, you alone cannot tell us the truth about yourself. That's the truth of the matter. It is the law that governs the universe. Because even if you give a madman a hoe to cultivate a farm, it will draw the soil towards itself. Everybody say the best part of the story of themselves. Everybody will launder their own evil act and present themselves as the cleanest. So you cannot tell us the truth totally about yourself. Allow other people to also say. That's why we go into the book of Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 15. I wouldn't have used the scripture because these are plain truth that is very common to you and I. I wouldn't have used it, but I wanted to say the book of Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 15 is saying something to you and I right now. We want to see the scriptural principle of establishing the truth. The scriptural principle of establishing the truth. It said, you must not convict anyone of any crime on the testimony of only one witness. You must not also believe a man on his own testimony alone. You get the point? That's the implication. It said the fact of the case must be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Who are the people witnessing you? Surely people are watching you. Your life online, your life offline. Funny thing about me is that I even do more stricter measure on my own organization and operation than I say online. And every single one who have benefited from what I do online, I've attested to the fact that You are too strict on yourself. So what you say online, is it the same thing as what you do offline? Can we trust you? Can we deal with you? Can we do business with you? Can people give you money without seeing you and they will be relaxed that you are using it for what you are saying you want to use it for? Integrity is not something you profess to us. Integrity is what the mouth of two or three establish. Who can witness to your life exactly the way you have told us you are without your presence? Who can witness to it? The scripture says a case is not established by the witness of one person. And most times that one person is always us. I can't believe you based on your testimony. Profess all you can. When you are professing, you are tuning your life. What you are doing is you are tuning your life to the right path that you want. But when it comes to witnessing, I can't believe your profession over the witness of two or three. We need to establish it. So the scripture is saying that for a fact to be established, for us to know that this man is truthful, for us to know that this woman is truthful, let us establish it from the mouth of two or three. And if we also want to know that this man is false, we should also call the mouth of two or three to establish it. So there are so many of us online right now with so many character flaws. This one came today, messed us up. That one come today. The same thing the other one said about us is the same thing this one is saying, that they don't know each other. And they keep repeating and saying over and over again. Don't you think we need to check ourselves? I know my weakness. I know what I'm dealing with. So when you tell me about it, I don't argue with you. I just go work on it. Are you working on yours? The testimony of people regarding your life, is it tallying with what you are doing? Tell yourself the truth. Create a moment of truth for yourself also and evaluate and say, if they are saying this thing is wrong, the first person said it, the second person said it, I think I need to get it right. So this is a story of a camel that went to the market. And the camel went to the market, and the people of the market said, oh, this camel fell into the ditch. And the camel said, it's not me, it's not me. The second day, the camel went to the market, and the market people say, this camel fell into the ditch. And the camel is saying, it's not me. The third day, people shouted, the camel fell into the ditch. I'm telling you the truth. The problem is not the market people, it is the camel. All of us cannot be wrong about you at the same time. But unfortunately, we are so timid and so fidgeting and so scared of presenting ourselves for public scrutiny. Most especially those who call the religious leaders. Just once, they don't want to be condemned. So they say, touch not my anointed, in a way to block themselves from the mirror without. They say, yeah, do you know the anointing upon my life? Do you know this lady? And the same thing we are experiencing right now in this nation. If you are the people of the future generation, we have a government right now. And the leader of that government is called Muhammad Buhari. If you condemn him online, even though we are running what we call democracy, they will arrest you. No freedom of press, no freedom of speech, no freedom of protest. You cannot express yourself in this government. And we call it democracy. And this is what I tell Nigerians. I said, what you are running is not democracy. It is a paramilitary democracy. 70% military, 30% democracy. You can only have your say in your room. That's the only democracy you enjoy with your family, but not outside. And that's why the government is getting it wrong in all aspects. And they don't want to know that the public opinion matters. Check every nation that is better, that are standing today and are world figure. They appreciate the opinion of the public. They don't shut the press down. Check every institution that is long lasting today. Check every religious sect. They appreciate public opinion. But when you are the only one who speak, nobody knows better than you. When the pastor comes and everybody gather on Sunday, everything I say, just don't even bother to argue. And there's going to be 5 days in a year that you will come together, every one of you from all over the world. We'll call it Shiloh, we'll call it Holy Ghost Camp and all that. It's only me that will be speaking. You just listen and go and do what I'm doing. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. The church of the old time never started like that. They gather together like fellowship. The apostles speak. The people listening, they ask questions to the point that they get to maturity. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. So nobody knows it all. If you keep getting criticism regarding a thing, try and adjust. And I'm teaching today, I'm teaching myself also. I'm teaching myself also. This is a very great turning point for me. It is not easy to stand before the mirror without, but the mirror without will help you a lot to achieve more. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. The scripture says, in the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see. Do you see that? Let your good deed. It didn't say, let it be between you and God alone. Some of you say, my this thing is between me and God alone. If you want to say that God is seeing you, let men also see you. Before you will say, God sees my heart, let men also be your witness. We won't call God to the door to come and defend you. We will never call God to come and say, okay, God, what are you saying about this person? We will call a person that knows you or those who have witnessed you in action before. So the scripture is even saying that the deed of this world must be known to the people that are in the world. You are with human beings. Let human beings see your good deed so much that they now give praise to your Father in heaven. You get the point now? This is a true teaching. They are not going to teach you that in church because they want to also block themselves from criticism. As old as time is, criticism has been a way forward for every well-meaning society. As old as time is, the mirror without has been something that every single person must stand before in order for that society to go forward. Even Adam stood before the mirror without. If you have nothing to fear, let's check your cupboard if we will not find skeleton there. Only those who have things to fear begin to shield. No, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't talk about me like this. Let them talk about you. If it is true, we'll know. If it is not true, leave us to do that job. You leave us with the job of knowing if it is true or not. If it is true or not, we will know. There was a time some people ganged up against me and they did a lot of hard work against me online and even went to create a Facebook page regarding me. By themselves, they took it down. Today, they are my friends. They are my friends because they apologized. Today, they are my friends. Some are still continuing that, but the people who perpetrated it, we are settled because it's a lie. And I am standing. And I'm still standing. And I will still keep standing. My fault in what they did, in what they said, I took it. I put it into consideration. The one that is not my own, I left it with them. I knew how better to run a public organization because of what those people did. And I have them to thank because they called my integrity to order. And I knew that instead of you saying God sees my heart, let men also see it. So when people come and say, can you help me? We want to pay hospital bill. I will show your face to the people so that they will know I'm not getting the money for myself. And you also must monitor the account as we are getting money for you. And mainly it's done. I'm going to tell them to stop. I'm going to release the money to the one who is going to use it to help you. I'm not giving you the money so you don't spoil money. Why? They taught me how to be more transparent. I took it as a positive criticism and it taught me to be a better person. If you are a follower of Jesus, if you say, okay, what this man is saying is rubbish, it is only what Jesus Christ said that I'll follow. Follow me to the book of Matthew 22. Matthew 22. This is the Almighty Jesus, the one that you follow. Matthew 22. Even Jesus subjected himself to this. Even Jesus. Matthew 22. The scripture says, they sent some disciples along with the supporters of Herod to meet with him. Who did they meet? Jesus. Who sent the disciples? The Pharisees and the Sadducees. They sent disciples to Jesus. And while they were going, they took the supporters of Herod. Now, you must be ready to stand trial before the government of the day and the religious leader of the day. And when they are giving testimony about you, you must live a life in such a way that all of them are uniform. The Sadducees and the Pharisees, they sent some people, and while the people were going, they called the supporters of Herod and they went to Jesus Christ. What were they saying? They said, teacher, they said, we know, hear this, we know how honest you are. How honest you are. Can people who are against you, those who hate you, I'm going to read it in the old NLT so we can understand. Matthew chapter 22 verse 16. Matthew 22 verse 16. Matthew 22 verse 16 is saying that they said they sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians, the Herod supporters. Teacher, they said to Jesus, we know you are a man of what? Integrity, and that you do what? And that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. You aren't swayed by men because you pay no attention to who they are. This is the testimony of people who hate Jesus about Jesus. And that's why the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 13 is saying that let that light shine so much that when they want to kill you, their testimony will be against themselves. when they gather together to make a decision regarding you, they should do it because they don't have conscience, not because you are at fault. The people who follow the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the king, which is Herod, they said, teacher, we know you are a man of integrity. Who can say that you are a man of integrity? These are people giving a public opinion regarding Jesus Christ, and it's true to listen to them. Who can say to us that you are a man of integrity? When they catch you in the act, who can say that he is not this kind of a man? When people gang up against you when they want to kill you, who can stand up and say, he is not that kind of a man? I know this man. And can it be more than one person giving good testimony about you? Can your enemies who are against you come together and say, we know that you are a good man, and that you are a man of integrity, and that you teach the word of God according to the accordance of the law of God? Can they say that about you? Can they say that you have not been compromised by the apostles who give you money so that when they buy private jet, you don't talk against them anymore? Can people say that you have not eaten from the king's meat? Can you be like Daniel, who say, I will not stain my integrity with the meat of this king? Can you be like John the Baptist, who would rather wear animal skin and eat honeycomb and say, I don't care if I look like someone who is diseased. I don't care if I look like someone who have diseases and who is ill and who is sick in his body. And I don't care if I'm going to be living in the cold in the wilderness. Whatever it takes to tell Herod the truth and to speak to the order of the day or the law of the day that this is evil, I'm going to do it. The law of the flesh, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life has finished many of us. Can we gallantly say that people can testify to what I'm saying about me? What you are and who you are, do they match? Are they together? Are they together? These are people who want to kill Jesus, giving good testimony about him. Giving good testimony about him. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 18. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 18. I want to show you. You might be saying, okay, Jesus Christ is perfect now. That one is very perfect. Oh, we can't say anything against Jesus Christ. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 18. Let's check this man called David. David. Now, there's a problem with Saul. He is in jeopardy. Things are messed up with him. And then Saul is saying that I need help. I need this and that. And then, according to 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 18, one man stood up. This man never knew David. This man is not a friend of David. If the Bible said Jonathan stood up, we will say because they love each other. If the Bible said Jonathan stood up to speak for David, we will say because they are in love with each other. But the scripture says one of the servants answered. He stood up. David did not send him. David has not met him. They never met before. He doesn't know David. David doesn't know him rather. He never actually gave him something before. It's not like this man was attacked in the wilderness and David came to his rescue. But this man stood up and started saying, I have seen a son of Jesse of Bethlehem who knows how to play harp. He is a brave man and is a warrior. He speaks well and is fine looking man. And the Lord is with him. Who can give that testimony about you? Forget the fact that David messed up at the end of the day. You see, before God could say David is a man after my heart, do you know that men have been giving testimony regarding David? What are they saying about you? It matters. It matters. Don't tell me it doesn't matter what people say about you. See, bad attitude is bad attitude. It doesn't matter if you are born in January or December. Some of you go and be watching your star horoscope. Things that God said we should not live by. Things that God said, don't watch your horoscope or go to astrologer to check your star. You say, I'm Cancer, I'm Virgo, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that. You'll be comparing yourself to animals. You say, we are Cancer people, all those Cancer people. May Cancer not kill you. May Cancer not kill you. We are Virgo, we are Scorpion. Is that even a good thing to compare yourself with? And say, because I'm a Scorpion, that's why my temperament is like this. Because I'm a Virgo, that's why I'm always crazy. Because I'm a Cancer, that's why I'm always at rage. You have bad attitude. It has something to do with horoscope. You have bad attitude. Go and check. Nobody will tell you the truth like that. I will tell you. You have bad attitude. Go and change it. It has nothing to do with your horoscope. And to think of it, why are you comparing yourself to animals? Why? Why are you? I chose not to understand that thing. Why are you comparing yourself to animal? That's why you are behaving animalistic up and down. Little things provoke you. Before you know, you are depressed. Before you know, you feel inferior. Before you know, you are putting your mouth in something that does not concern you. Before you know where you are supposed to keep quiet, you are talking. Where you are supposed to talk, you are keeping quiet. You are confused because you compare yourself to animal. What is wrong with you? It has nothing to do with horoscope. You have bad attitude. Go and fix it. Go and fix your bad attitude. Who can say regarding you that God is with you? You are a good man. You are a fine-looking man. Not in terms of your beauty and all that, but because when we say it's there, it's always there. Who can give a resume of you without you writing to them? Who can write your resume and market your personality without your presence? Are you living such a life? You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. 1 Timothy chapter 3 stated a lot of things that we must do regarding a church leader. It said a church leader must be beyond reproach. That means that we can approach a church leader and is subjected to reproach, but it must be beyond reproach. Church leader is not someone who is perfect. A church leader is not someone you cannot castigate or criticize. It is not judgment. It is public mirror. It is opinion. It matters if you are in public office to listen to public opinion. So they said, this church leader, having gone through reproach, he must be a step ahead of his accuser. They didn't say a church leader must not be approached or reproached or be accused. They said the church leader must be beyond reproach. But what are the characteristics of the church leaders that you guys have right now? They are the one that will steal, rape women, do cocaine laundering, do money laundering, do a lot of things. Lie in the name of the Lord. Lie in the name of the Lord. Lie in the name of the Lord. In rounding up, let's check the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, as I begin to round up. What is expected of all of us as children of God? What is expected of all of us? 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11 to 12 says that, make it your ambition. Verse 11, make it your ambition. So when we have a child going to university, we say, what is your ambition? What is your future ambition? What are you living for? What is your purpose? The scripture is saying, make it your purpose. Make it your, center your life around it. Make sure you don't swivel to the left or to the right. Focus on that thing. Make it your ambition. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11 to 12. It said, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your hands, just as we have told you, so that your daily life may do what? May win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody. They said, make it your ambition. It must be something you do religiously, that your daily life have the respect of outsider. You are not pretending. It doesn't say pretend as much as possible. It says make it your ambition. Let it be your purpose that what you are in the secret is the same thing you are in the open. So, in case you think that public opinion doesn't matter, I've shown you in the Bible and I've said it in plain truth that it does matter. So, if you are following a leader who thinks that public opinion doesn't matter, that leader is actually having something to hide. Investigate him, criticize him, punch him. And if he reacts and say, stop talking about me, no, 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 and try to defend himself all the time, you know that this one, oh God, something is wrong with you. That's simply the simplicity of the gospel is that nobody is above mistake and no one should be above correction. I don't care who you are. I don't even care if you are my father's age mate or you can give back to my father. If you are wrong, you are wrong. We'll say it. And if you're right, you're right. As long as what concerns us is about national issue, economic issue, and this spiritual issue, I will always call you out. I will always call you out. I have no business with how you treat your wife or whatever you do with your girlfriend or your relationship or affair in the secret. That's your business. But when it comes to the things of the public, then public opinion must matter. And in case you are thinking, okay, I'm going to present myself as much as possible before public mirror or mirror without, and I'm going to be a stricter mirror for others, know that the scripture says, the way you measure people, you shall also be measured. That's why the teachers are going to be judged in a more stricter manner. So it is now left to you, whenever you become the mirror for someone, know how to reflect their image back to them with love. With love. Reflect people's image back to them with love. And the grace of God is upon you to get that done. It can give you wisdom if you ask. It can give you temperament or temperance if you ask. It can give you patience. It can help you to be able to pass your message across if you ask it. If you ask it. If you ask it. And that's the end of today's teaching. Simple as ABC. Simple as ABC. Subject yourself to public scrutiny if you especially are in public office. And sometimes if you are not, be like Jesus Christ. Ask those who are with you and ask them like this. Say, who do men say I am? If Jesus needed to ask them and say, who do men say I am? Who are you in heaven and on earth that you cannot listen to public opinion? Not because he doesn't know what he is, but he needed to know who he is. You see, there's a difference between what you are, that's known to you, and who you are, that should be known to people. He said, he didn't say, what do people say I am? No, he said, who do men say I am? He knows what he is. And the moment who he is tallies with what he is, he said, the Spirit revealed that to you. Who are you and what are you? Let it be your priority, and you'll see how your life will be sporadically increased in terms of positivity. Now, be careful not to judge your life according to what people say. You are not living for public. You are not living by public opinion, but you must make sure that if you say you are truthful, let other people be able to also witness that you are a truthful person. And God will help you to be able to do that. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and you can join me on all my social media. Go to YouTube and Facebook and just type at the Greatman, the ampersand, at the Greatman Ayilara, at the Greatman Ayilara. Press the like button or the follow button. And if you are yet to join me on my YouTube channel today, I'm inviting you specially to be my guest on my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and type Greatman Ayilara there. Subscribe and press the alarm button. I know a lot of people want to have the identity hidden. This is the best place for you to be on my YouTube. Don't worry, there's no advertisement. It's not about the money. It's about getting to share the word of God together. Thank you very much for listening to me today. You have listened to God, and let it begin to work the work of salvation within you. Till the next time we meet again, I want to know that the grace of God is always with you and will never depart from you. Don't forget to share this message with as many people as possible. And don't be the hearer of the word alone so that you deceive yourself. Also be the doer of the word. And God will give you the right backing and grace to get things done. Bye for now.